What's good? It's your girl D, back with another video blog this time, actually. Apparently, Samsung is kind of in the news a little bit about, you know, defective phone, and I don't care about the negative aspects of it, I should say. I am an avid Samsung user, have been since they actually back when Windows was the thing and you had 3G. And when they first dipped into the Android market, and back when the four majors, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint, they each had their own actual Samsung Galaxy phone that was just for their network. That's how long I've been rocking with Samsung, since the goddamn Captivate. And as with any cell phone provider out there, whether it's Nokia, whether it is Windows, whether it's BlackBerry, whether it's HTC, LG, the Huawei, Huawei, is that something? Is that a brand? I don't know. The Blue, BLU, any actual provider out there is going to have shit happen. It just so has happened that Samsung's had some shit happen, you know, with this recall. And it has the ability to tarnish their reputation for a very long time. But also, it is Samsung's fault in a sense because of the fact that, you know, the source of the recall came that there were reports from multiple people in different areas of the world that their phone either overheated and melted or exploded, so to speak. Which it was, you know, obviously overheating due to the battery. Now, I am, you know, and so because it was so many different people reporting the same issue, Samsung went ahead and went public with a actual worldwide recall that was voluntary at first until the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission. They announced that Samsung was going to be recalling their Galaxy Note 7 smartphones, and consumers were told immediately to stop using and power down the recalled devices if they were purchased before September the 15th. So they first announced that that was Thursday, September the 15th that they made that announcement, at least when I got my confirmation text message from Verizon. Samsung I believe they went public with the recall back on, September the 2nd is when they actually issued the recall and suspended the sale of the device. So, alright, cool. And initially, there was a lot of confusion. You know, people were like, oh my gosh, why and I was one of those too, like, okay, y'all are recalling the phone, but my phone works fine. Don't see an issue. It's, you know, like, it hasn't gotten hot. I don't feel unsafe. I doubt it's going to explode. I'm not afraid of a flesh wound. I'm not afraid of a burn wound. I'm just letting you know. Kind of tough. But, be that as it may, Samsung was concerned with the safety of all of their consumers. So they went ahead and suspended the sales as well as issued the recall. And so, as a Verizon customer, this is just my experience, and just to give you an idea of what it is that you can expect, as well as what it was that I first experienced. So when they first announced the recall, Samsung's like, all right, cool, you have a Note 7, chill, stop using it, please. You can either take it back to your provider, we'll give you a 7 or a 7 Edge, and we'll refund you the difference, as well as we'll buy back any Note 7 accessories that you purchased. Off top, whatever it is that you choose to do, we're still going to give you a $25 gift card towards merchandise in our store. Or you can just go ahead and trade the phone in for whatever other phone it is that you desire, and we'll refund you. We will. Okay, cool. Verizon was like, player, we don't know how we're going to do that just yet. So hang tight while we gather information. Things are, you know, changing day to day. So I finally waited a few days and I asked, okay, so how is this recall going to work? For Verizon specifically, they stated that since it is a voluntary recall, they would waive the restocking fee if you can actually come in to get the 7 or the 7 Edge if you desired, or any other phone it is that you wanted, and they would go ahead and waive the restocking fee through September the 30th. In addition to that, once the Note 7, the replacements were ready, then you can go ahead and bring back whatever phone it is that you want and trade that back in for a Note 7. I'm like, that? Do you know how much archiving, synchronizing, backing up, copying, pasting, downloading, customizing goes into making my phone exactly the way it is I want? I'm not about to go ahead and bring this phone back, get a replacement, take the replacement, try to go ahead and tweak that to how it is that I want for a phone I don't want, and then when the Note 7's finally ready, bring that phone back and then rinse and repeat the process? Nah, bruh. I'm going ahead and chill. Just wait a little bit. Because at the time that the recall was announced, all right, cool. It was only, statistically, it was only about maybe, it was 35 confirmed cases. They said that it was about maybe one phone for every 44 devices, with 2.5 million of them, about maybe worldwide, like 60 phones, maybe. As time grew on, there was a man who's had burn wounds because his phone was in his pocket. There was another man whose whole vehicle caught on fire because he was charging it. Even though Samsung was like, hey bro, we're recalling the phone, power down, simmer down now. And you know, he chose to do whatever it is that he wanted. Now, there was a total of maybe 90 cases from the initial time prior to the recall till today. 90 cases reported. 26 are completely fake because people was gone ahead and looking for a come up. I don't blame you, but it's people like you that don't make this shit any easier for good consumers like me. Be that as it may, I didn't have any issues with my Note 7. Love the fuck out of this phone. Still love the fuck out of this phone. Right, true. So Samsung, they go ahead and they announce, as per that text message I read earlier, that your replacements are going to be in no later than the 21st. Bet who wants a replacement is me. Not that I'm afraid, not that I'm scared, but my phone actually, the only issue it had was the speaker issue. That sometimes the sound would be a little bit distorted whenever playing a video back or playing like a snap that video back. So I'm like, you know what? I mean, if they're going to go ahead and give me the new anyways, let's just go ahead and do it. Otherwise, if not for that, I wouldn't have traded. I'm particular. I love my phone. Like I said, my phone's wonderful. I got the silver version. See how shiny that shit is? Look at that. Platinum. Right? And I wanted to make sure if I'm gonna go ahead and trade this phone in, I want exactly what it is that I had. If I'm gonna go through the trouble of going ahead, of getting everything re-archived and resynchronized and backed up and copied and pasted and re-downloaded, I want exactly what it is that I paid for. So I called customer service. Customer service is like, it's probably gonna be first come, first serve, but why don't you call a store, see what it is that they've got cracking, see how their inventory is gonna work. Excellent, cool. Call the store. Wait on hold for 25 minutes. Got transferred to the call center. Okay, I called another store. Waited on hold. Transferred to the call center. I called another store. And I'm like dialing the local Kansas City area code number. Waited on hold for 30 minutes. Wound up getting transferred to the call center queue again. Finally at the fourth store, because all I want to know is, A, can I make a reservation? Because I didn't just walk into a Verizon store and get this phone. I actually pre-ordered the bitch at the beginning of August. Gave y'all my quaint right then and there. So low-key, I should have first dibs in my opinion. But this call center representative, who was the most stellar one, and I forgot her name, I think it was Christina, but she actually called a store for me. And this is my first gripe. I understand, and working in customer service, I understand that the people that you have in front of you do take some type of priority. I do. But also at the same time, it kind of irritated me that Verizon serves as a communications company primarily in phones, and I try to call the store about my phone and they couldn't answer the phone. because they were supposedly that busy. In fact, the individual at this particular store confirmed the only reason why I'm answering the phone is because I see that you're calling from Verizon's call center, which that irritated me, but be that as it may, whatever. There were no reservations that you could make, and it is first come, first serve, but if you have a Note 7, you will get a replacement. It may not necessarily be on replacement day, since Samsung confirmed that the phones will be available no later than the 21st, but everybody's going to get a replacement as long as they voluntarily bring it in. All right, cool. So I knew I had to be in a different area of town, stalked that store right at open, walked in, everybody was there, exchanging their phones. It's like, all right, well, I want a silver one. Do you have a silver one in stock? She says, well, I think my last silver one went out last night. What? Y'all had the phones in on a Tuesday? Going up? On a Tuesday? You didn't tell nobody? Well, the shipment came in early and we were surprised, but you know, okay. All right, so they called around the local stores, found out inventory. They said that another one in this particular store was at 119th Street in Leawood, the Hawthorne store. And I want to give them a huge shout out because they were some of the nicest gentlemen and young lady that I dealt with. And their store's closing at the end of the month. I'm pissed off. Like, I finally found a good retail location and whatever. So immediately raced down there, and it was about an hour wait. It's because in that particular store, because they were closing, they were extremely minimally staffed. And I don't say this detrimental, this is just facts. They were extremely minimally staffed and everyone was there. If you had a general question, that was fine. They did a lot of multitasking, but mostly everybody was there to go ahead and get their Note 7 exchanged. And I'm like, hey, y'all can take all the time in the world as long as y'all got the silver one. For real. And that's the only reason why I'm here. Like Marshawn Lynch, you know why I'm here for. And so my experience was, one, to conclude that, do not try to call an actual store to see if they've got that. To see if they've got your particular color in stock, or to see if they've even got a phone ready for you. You need to just go ahead, take your ass on down there in person. To be prepared for a wait, because it's, I think maybe only 10% of the 2.5 million, because mostly, you know, since Samsung is like a Korean based company, I know that the recall is going interestingly worldwide, but for the amount of phones that they needed to push stock for here in the US, it was small in comparison to how many it was that they actually had to do worldwide. Anyways, so if you do go in person, you're going to have a little bit of a wait. Be prepared. Bring a book. I went ahead and I brought the entire box because some of my stuff was still in plastic, because I'm a professional nerd, and when I pre-ordered the phone, I also pre-ordered different accessories, chargers, cases, and things of that nature, and also 5 amp adapter, AC adapter for this phone is the same as what I had for my Note Edge. I actually had the original Note Edge. That's how long I waited to upgrade for this mug, because I wanted my expandable storage. But anyways, you're going to have a long wait. Be prepared to go ahead, make sure before you do turn in your device that you do have everything backed up, synchronized, saved to a cloud, copied over to your memory card, saved in your email. There are a ton of applications out there that can help you with that. I use Nova Launcher. Nova will let you go ahead, save your backup of what your launcher layout is and email it to yourself. I use SMS Backup / Restore to go ahead and then move my text messages from one phone to the other. You can also include MMS messages on there too, and you can save that backup and either save it to the memory card or go ahead and email it to yourself. That way you can re-download it when you get your next phone. I also use from Cyanogen Mod, I believe. It is called Carbon, from some of them boys over at XDA Developers, and that is an app that does not require root access, that will go ahead and let you not only back up the full application or just the basic application data, and that way when you re-download that app, you can restore your game levels, your progress in Angry Birds or Subway Surfer or Sailor Moon or whatever it is. For those apps that don't necessarily synchronize, like with your Facebook credentials or your Google Play games credentials or anything like that, you can go ahead and save your progress that way as well too. So that's usually what it is that I rock with, and that's usually why it is that it's such a pain to move from one phone to the other unless it's absolutely worth my time. So if that can help you, I hope so. I'll list some of those links down in the description box below. Now, why stay with Samsung? Well, first of all, they're the shit. Number one. Two, they had an expeditious response to this recall as it is. And even with the people out there who falsify their reports, there were some actual genuine instances of damaged phones floating about. They attributed the fault to one of their battery providers. They didn't actually go public with which battery provider it was that had the defection. But Samsung is going to capitalize off of this, whether it hurts their reputation or not, whatever. Because what's going to happen is they're going to go ahead and get your recalled phone back, right? Make sure you factory reset it before you turn that mug back in. Cool. Go ahead, get that phone, pop it open, replace that battery, then sell that shit as a refurb and still profit off of it. So Samsung's still going to come out triumphant no matter what. The expeditious response to this, though, yeah, I could deal, you know, anytime that you get a new Samsung device, they automatically give you a coupon code for some merchandise or a case or an accessory from their store. Also, a $25 credit to their store as well is still pretty spectacular. Side note, Verizon actually gave me a $25 credit too in addition to this. I don't know if it is in place of the forthcoming discount from Samsung. I still have yet to do that, or to confirm that, but I'll let you know in the description box. Samsung also threw out some freebies. They'll either give you a 256 gigabyte memory card or the Gear Fit 2 as a free purchase with the Note 7, as long as you confirm that you purchased it before September was up. And this is also before anything about the recall came about. So that was spectacular as well too. Excuse me. Unlike the competition, they still have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And for once, they actually included headphones in the damn box. I was pretty impressed with that. They are reliable. They're not the first phone to actually have defections or recalls. Though this is a safety issue, they're not the actual first phone to have battery issues. Research on some of those iPhones with those exploding batteries, or the idiots that were dumb enough to put their iPhone in the microwave to try to charge it faster. Come on now. And in my honest opinion, whether the phone was overheating or not, it still gives you plenty of damn notice that the shit is getting hot. So there's a lot of user error in there that you're disregarding the actual warnings that the phone is giving you once it reaches a certain temperature. I was doing a Facebook Live video and the phone got to be too hot. It cut my shit off immediately. It was like, popped up a message like, we went ahead and terminated some apps because the phone was overheating. Just want to let you know. It's like, oh, y'all ain't playing. Okay, all right. So I do honestly believe that in some instances of the phone overheating and actually getting to the explosion point, that there is some user error. Either you completely bypassed that message or you was sleeping super damn hard. But you know, like the guy who left his phone in the car charging, you know, I do feel for him, but also I think he was in Florida. It's always hot in Florida. There are a lot of cars now that will not allow you to charge devices from the cigarette lighter jack. Like the car actually has to be in ignition for you to do that, just so things don't overheat. But, and also reputation. Like, yeah, this is a hit for their rep now, but Samsung's continually been reliable throughout the years. And every single company out there experiences some kind of setback, but Samsung is big enough to where this setback, they can go ahead and make a comeback and it will be vicious and it will be amazing. It's not like, you know, Kodak or Nokia who got swallowed up by the bigger fish in the sea. You know, Samsung is the big fish that's in the sea. And I sincerely doubt that this is, you know, it may hurt their sales, it may hurt their reputation now. But hell, didn't Chipotle have food poisoning, E. coli, in how many different locations? And look at what they're doing now. I mean, yeah, food, technology, different areas, but just speaking of a company, a brand, its product, there was some fucked up shit that happened, and then they did some damage control and made things right, and then came back. Just saying, Samsung's going to do that. I'm going to stick with Samsung because I've been with Samsung. I'm very brand loyal. The camera that this is recording on is a Samsung camera. Here is the Note 7. Here is the Note 8.0. Another wonderful grandfather device that nobody's heard of. Here is the Gear 2. Even though I've got an aftermarket watch band, the last watch that Samsung made that has a damn camera on there, I'm just saying. In the Gear series. Got the Gear Fit up there as well too, the original Gear, as well as the Note 4. That look, me and Samsung like this, okay? I'm just letting you know, me and Samsung is like this. And I'm not about to go ahead and abandon them in their time of need. However weird that may sound, but you know, whatever. If you are deciding to stay with Samsung or not, one, check with your network provider, because even though Samsung is the manufacturer, they are not the actual service provider. So check with your service provider on how they're going to handle the recall for you, or if you want to go ahead and stick with another or a substitute phone. The S7 and the S7 Edge are spectacular devices that are extremely reliable too. So do your homework. If you want to go ahead and abandon and jump ship, there are plenty of phones out there that are more than able to satisfy your technological needs or your everyday phone and communication needs. I'm just saying, Samsung's been able to do that for me for years, and though this is an unfortunate circumstance, they fixed it. So why not give them a chance? Other than that, yeah, that's all I got. So as always, thank you ever so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you have any questions or suggestions, hit your girl up in the comment section. Please check the other videos on my channel as well. Dive into some of the other playlists. I've got a little bit of something for everybody. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you in a little bit. And if it didn't, then, you know, just hit that Control and then that Alt and then that F4. And I will see you later. If you are here for my shenanigans, I appreciate you. You take care and you have a wonderful day.